Hey everyone, this week I'm going to try a little something different, this way you don't have to stare at me. um, I found out this week that salt is definitely my enemy. Okay, and I'm going to try a few mindful eating tips and I'm going to share them with you. But to give you a little intro, that yes, salt is definitely my enemy. Even though I didn't eat a lot this week, I did wind up letting my husband order out a few times, which meant that yes, we did get a lot of stuff out, which of course means what? A lot of salt, because people that eat out, when you order out, they add a lot of salt to foods, which tastes great. But since I don't normally eat a lot of salt, that meant my body was retaining water like the Hoover Dam. And last night, that fluid collected in my feet and my toes looked like little Vienna sausages. It was horrible. My shoes were so tight. I went to go take something out to the garbage. I slipped on these little shoes that I have just to go outside. Normally they're super loose. Well, they were tight. I mean, really tight. It was bad. And like I said, I looked at my toes. They looked like they were about to pop. It was awful. And all that was water retention. Why? Because I ate way too much salt. And it was a lot of salt. My body's not used to it. So I'm going to go back to a trick that I learned from a paid program, which I will not mention because I don't get paid from any paid sponsors. So I'm just going to share you some tips from some reputable sites. I pulled up some infographics from some reputable sites, which I'm going to share with you. Those infographics here are very simple, very knowledgeable. One is from Johns Hopkins Medicine. The other one is, I believe, mindful.org or mindful eating, but I will show you in a moment. And they're just simply going to allow you to be more conscious of what you're eating, why you're eating, and allow you to, eat basically what you want, but just eat a little bit less and be more mindful of how you're eating it so that you can successfully lose weight. So I'm going to incorporate that into what I was trying to do last week, which is get rid of all the bad foods, which I did. So got most of the bad foods out of the house so I could start concentrating on more healthy foods. But I also got to put a curb on my husband. As much as I love him, he is my best friend in the world. But we are going to get, into more healthy eating. So later on, I'm going to go shopping, get more healthy foods, and just do a little bit more mindful eating. Okay, here's the infographic for the mindful eating that I got from Johns Hopkins Medicine. That you can see the link. Sorry, here you can see the link from the article where I got it from. 7 tips for mindful eating. I'm not going to go every little thing. Plus, some of it unfortunately got cut off. But basically, it explains, very simply, controlling how you eat by being very mindful of what you're eating, how you're eating. Okay, looking at what's on your plate. Okay, chewing it, being very mindful of, even the flavors. Okay, this morning I took some blueberry Cheerios, which for any of you that are older like me, if you remember the old Blueberry cereal, not the new crap that they have now that comes out once a year, but the old Blueberry cereal that was like so sugared up, it was like put you on a sugar rush that would last for like 3 days. But the old Blueberry cereal, that stuff, you put that in with like a little bit of regular Cheerios, holy crap, it's just like eating blueberry. So that's what it was. I was so mindful of it. I put some of the blueberry Cheerios in with regular Cheerios, and it was just like bringing me back to my childhood. So I was so mindful of it. I would just taste the blueberry flavor of those Cheerios. And no, I'm not sponsored by Cheerios, but I happen to love it. And I would taste that blueberry flavor coming in over the taste of the regular Cheerios. Just a little bit of almond milk, just enough to, make it a little, wet. I don't like to soak it because I don't like them getting too mushy, but just, just enough, and I was able to just enjoy every single bite and just sit there and just chew it slowly and enjoy it and just taste every bite as it went in. And sometimes it actually tasted just like those little blueberry marshmallows that was in that Boo Berry cereal. Like I said, it was just brought me back to my childhood. It was amazing. And the other part of mindful eating too is just when you're full, stop. And that, I have to admit, is one of my biggest problems, especially when it's something I really enjoy. And like pizza, holy crap, I can eat pizza like a starving person that just, say, came out of the desert or just came out of the jungle after being stuck there for like days on end. If you ever watch like Naked and Afraid or Alone, and they've been starving and they haven't eaten anything, I mean, like, and you just shoved a pizza in front of them after they haven't eaten in like 20 days, you know, and they would just chow down on the whole thing. Holy crap, that would be me. But that's me on a normal day. I could just eat if it's something that I really, really like and really, really enjoy. But part of mindful eating is just slowing it down so that your brain has a chance to really click with what's going on in your stomach. Okay. I think I mentioned last time about this thing, Forks Over Knives. Yeah, it's a vegan thing, but there is some interesting information in there about how your stomach and your brain work to send signals about when you're full, and how the amount of food you eat and the type of food you eat, how it sends signals to your brain. Well, if you're eating really fast, your stomach doesn't have a chance to send to your brain you're full. And then all of a sudden, your stomach is so overinflated, by the time it's got a chance to send it to your brain, you feel like Veruca Salt from Willy Wonka, you know, the blueberry girl. And you're just like, you're ready to just roll yourself, you know, into bed. And you feel like you literally can just be rolled across the room. Especially if I go out to eat, I can just easily overstuff myself because I don't take the time to slow it down. So these are these little tricks and tips that I'm going to try and share with you from some of the other programs that I've done, you know, that I'm not going to mention again because I don't get paid by them, and from some of these science-based websites that are free, and I will share them with you, like this one, and share them with you and show you these things that you can use, and bring them to you and share my successes and my failures. This week was sort of not exactly a success, but it wasn't exactly a failure either. Like I said, I ate way too much salt this weekend, okay? And yeah, I retained so much water yesterday. My toes were, like I said, were like little Vienna sausages. It was horrible. It was disgusting. Okay, and I was not going to take a picture and share it with you because I wouldn't do that to you. I didn't even like showing it to my husband. However, even with that, I still lost, you know, a little less than a pound, which means that even with all that water retention, the fact that I still lost a little bit, I consider it a positive. So I'm trying to take what little positive I can get out of this week. All right. I'm going to go on to the next slide and go into a little bit more into mindful eating. Okay, here, this is another one I took off from another site, which is very reputable. Okay, this was created by a doctor, Dr. Willard, and it's from mindful.org. Okay, I'm sorry that the picture's not as good as I would like, but the information is still very valid. Okay, it shows the difference between mindless eating, which is something that I'm very good at. Okay, I will say I'm probably a pro at mindless eating, and I really have to try very hard at mindful eating. But mindless eating is just eating fast, the fast pace, and ignoring your body signals, whereas mindful is listening to your body and stopping when you're full. That's my what I say, you know, like what I call my off switch. My off switch is sometimes broken. It just doesn't work. My off switch doesn't always work. But being mindful is finding that off switch and getting used to turning it off when your body's full, and stopping when you're eating, putting the stuff away, and leaving those foods for the next day, leaving it for another meal. Then you have lunch for the next day to bring to work. And you'll actually save money on food. Think of all the money you'll save. You stop eating when you're full, take what's left, put it in a container, and now you have lunch for the next day. It's great. You're going to save so much on food bills. It's wonderful. And I did. The last time I did this, and I was actually successful, and I lost a lot of weight before I went back into my old eating habits. I was saving a ton of money on food. Okay. Mindless eating, another one I'm a pro at. Eating when your emotions tell you to. When you're sad, you're bored, you're lonely. And another one, when I'm working from home and I'm looking for a distraction. That's another mindless eating habit. When I'm working and I'm supposed to be, coding a chart, and I'm like, oh, this chart's a pain in the ass, and no, especially a long one, I go look, I go to the bathroom. It happens to be right next to the kitchen. Oh, what's here? Let me see if I can find something. And I try and grab something. Mindful eating is eating when you're really, truly hungry. Try and know the difference. Maybe get a drink to see, is it true? Maybe it's just hunger. I mean, maybe you're just thirsty and you're not truly hungry. Maybe you're just thirsty. So try and see, are you truly hungry? Because then I'll try and tell myself, I only ate 2 hours ago. Am I really hungry? Not really. And so I try to put it off. So that's what I'm trying to do. I actually started doing a little bit of it last week. I'm going to try and do it a little bit more this week. Okay. Mindless eating, eating alone, you're eating at random times and places. Okay. When you're mindful, you're eating with others. Obviously, if you live alone, you can't do that. But you do want to try and maybe eat at a set time. Okay. So obviously, if you live by yourself, and especially now we're kind of living in a, in this isolation thing, but you want to eat at your set times and place. And you also, don't want to eat while you're working. You don't want to eat while you're watching TV, things like that. Okay. Make it a designated thing. I'm eating. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not checking my emails. I'm not working. I'm not doing anything else. This is my meal time, and that's it. Okay. Number 4, eating foods that are emotionally comforting. Oh, those comfort foods. Pizza, mac and cheese, pastas, those comfort foods, mashed potatoes. God, I gotta make myself hungry. All right. Try and go for things that are nutritionally healthy. Think, what is it that I'm putting in my body? What is this really doing for my body? All right. That's the difference between mindless eating and mindful eating. Try and think about what is it that, what is it doing to my body? All right. I remember I used to even tell people, like if I looked at a donut, like if I take that donut and tape it to my ass, it would come off faster than if I eat it. If I eat that donut, it's going to take me months to get that thing off my ass. But if I just take it and tape it to my ass, I can just rip it off and it'll go away. So little things like that you could tell yourself, about, like any kind of like little, mind tricks. Okay. Also, mindless eating, another thing I'm really good at, eating and multitasking. Again, eating while you're checking your emails, while you're working, while you're watching TV. You want to just eat. When you're eating. Don't do all that other stuff. Try and keep it to just that. Okay. And number 6, considering a meal an end product. You don't want to do that. You want to consider where it comes from. Okay. Is it something healthy? I mean, I'm not saying everybody has to go out and buy organic if you don't want to. Okay. But is it local versus is it coming from across the country? Try to, this part here, they're talking about, with the environmental aspect. If you're trying to buy local stuff versus stuff that's being, imported from other countries, is it being imported from other areas? Because there are steaks, like for those that are meat eaters, we have local meats and there are meats that do come from, like, say, Australia, because there's all these beef manufacturers in Australia, and some people buy beef that comes from there because supposedly they have really good steaks. I don't know. I couldn't tell the difference probably because I'm not a big steak eater. That's just because I'm usually more of a chicken or fish when I eat meat. All right. Like I said, I'm trying to get more into the plant-based stuff just because my cholesterol's through the roof, and I really need to get away from the meat anyway. Back to plant-based. But these are just little things that we can think of, little things that we can try and do. And next video, I'll try and incorporate a little bit more mindful eating things, a little bit more mind tricks that we can do. Not even mindful eating, but just little things that we can do to kind of help, just little things that we can do to trick ourselves, not even trick ourselves, but like just reprogram ourselves is probably the better word. Reprogram ourselves to eat better and eat healthier and lose weight. And again, I will just keep sharing my progress as I go along with this, because again, I'm also a work in progress, and I'm sure most of you are a work in progress as well. So as I'm progressing, I will share my progress with you. For those of you who made it to the end, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So if you like this, please subscribe. It really does help me. So, and also maybe check my other videos, okay? Comment and share. Any comments that you leave, I do look at them and I try to comment back. If you have any questions, I will be more than happy to answer them, and I will try and, share again whatever information that I have. And again, I thank you for watching. And again, if you made it to the end, I thank you with all of my heart, and have a great day.